The Academic Association of Staff Union of Universities, Asuu, has extended its warning strike to May of this year. In a tweet put out by the association, they stated that warning strike, there it is, Academic Staff Union of Universities has extended its warning strike for another 2 months till May 14th. The decision to extend the strike was taken by the union's National Executive Council meeting held in Abuja Sunday night. Joining us to discuss further, Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu. Chika, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Where do we begin?
All bad news.
I'm so sorry to have you to review all this news.
All bad news.
So, tough stuff.
The Asuu one.
Asuu, let's start with Asuu.
You know, Asuu, did the first 1 month warning strike. And we thought that the government negotiators and the Asuu people will meet and resolve the issues diligently that have been standing between Asuu and the government. And we know that among other things, the issues include, one, the payment platform.
Yes.
They Asuu developed their own called UTAS, vis-a-vis the one the government have been using called the IPPIS.
Yes. And
then the other thing had to do with the renegotiation of the 2009 Asuu federal government agreement. And it seems that no progress has been made on those two fronts, among other big issues. And so it's sad to hear that they've extended this strike by another 2 months. You hear about the UTAS, the Asuu saying their own comment. You hear about what the government and NTIDA is talking about also, that's responsible for approving software for government.
Yeah.
And you don't know who to believe. NTIDA says that the Asuu UTAS failed the integrity test. As is saying that that's not true, that they actually passed 77% and 80%. And that's what the same marks. And then the renegotiation agreement, the federal government appointed a panel, committee to do that. And as I said, we're not interested in that. Ours is main implementation of the 2009 agreement. Government is saying that the parameters under which the 2009 agreement were set are no longer, outside is no longer doable. The government cannot afford some of those lines. And the Asuu has to be real and come and negotiate. And Asuu is saying, no, agreement is an agreement. The agreement that was signed by your people. So, a difficult situation. Our children are out there. I was talking to one of my colleagues, one of my staff, whose son is in the University of Gombe, and he just went back last week after a 1 month strike.
And now
it's going to come back again.
Yeah.
Come back again. I just told him now he has to tell his son to come back. And I don't manage Devil's Workshop. So all this, our kids now, and you can imagine what will be happening.
Right.
And I'm hoping that the Minister of Education and the Minister of Labour and us will look at the big picture of our country and then hopefully come to some sense in this, and this strike should be called off.
Thank you so much, Chika. Shall we do bread or FX?
Bread.
The Bakers Association, you talked extensively about diesel last week.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody who is not affected by diesel, even we in our studio here.
Right.
Well, everybody, and it goes back to the bigger issue. The bigger issue is what? Power.
Power, yeah.
You had a ride on a runner also, you had a story about power.
Yeah.
And so if power had been available to 80% of the time, diesel the impact of diesel prices will be limited. But the issue is that after 80% of the time we're using generators. The power, over this weekend, I'm not sure I had up to 1 hour power in where I live in Ikoyi. It's all running on diesel. And the prices. So if you talk about that, you go back to the issue. The issue is the failure of our power system. Now, you had a story that talked about the Gencos complaining about the fact that they're being owed 1.6 trillion.
Yeah.
Now, the Nigerian Bucket Electricity Trading Company, NBET, is saying that's not correct, that the basic calculation of that is wrong. Now, the transmission, everybody knows that's a weak link. the discos are the last line, the people who collected the money and push back. But they have to have power to, to sell, to get revenue. So we find the whole thing is in a mess. Gencos are saying that we'll pay for gas upfront and we'll collect payment for electricity generated instrumentally. And all those things have to be aligned.
Yes.
So that's the root of, if that is working, if power is working, who needs diesel?
Correct, yeah.
Who needs diesel? So that's the issue. That power is not working. That's why diesel becomes the major source of power. And everybody's affected. So it's not only bread station of Nigeria. I'm sure everybody, the transporters, indirect costs, every landlord very soon. Everybody rents will go up because of diesel. And do your analysis of inflation.
Yeah, inflation expectations.
Yeah, expectations. You talked about it also. You're going to have a pass-through effect all over the economy. And so it just, again, when we don't take the right decisions and we take the decisions, down the line we're going to pay the price for it. And we're paying the price for all the decisions we didn't take in the past.
Chika, I'm noticing a trend here. What your analysis just put from the Asuu saying one thing, government saying another. To power, Gencos are saying one thing, NBET is saying another. There's no synergy, and it seems to be just back and forth, back and forth.
And we're looking for somebody at the top to bring everybody together and say, guys, let's look at what's best for the country. But that's not happening. That's not happening.
FX, yes. This
we'll touch a little about it.
You did.
Again, look at it. Say, listen. Where do we get FX from? Oil.
Yes.
Now, even everybody should know there's a problem. And the problem is this. When oil prices are moving up, what should we do? We should be pumping more.
Right.
To take advantage of the price.
Yeah.
That's what should happen.
Yeah.
But that's not happening. Rather, I'm not manufacturing this story.
Yes.
I'm Minister of State for what he's saying. We don't like the high
price to be too high.
Too high. We want it to be $70 per barrel. Is that not funny?
Right. For an oil-producing
country that we should. If you're selling rice now, you just pump right so they can maximize the price market during that time when the price is high. Now the oil prices are tapering because of the interest of the discussion about the Russia and Ukraine are going to meet and stuff like that. So it's come down to below $110 per barrel. But the issue that's happening. Now go back. Why is our minister not happy with the high oil price?
Yeah.
Because of the fact that we cannot pump up the volumes to take benefit of the market.
Yes.
Why are we not able to pump up the volumes? Because we're not making the right investments required to expand our production.
As in production, infrastructure
investments.
Right.
Why don't you make those investments? Because it took us time to pass the petroleum industry bill. And while Nigeria was waiting, this international capital that doesn't wait for anybody has gone to look for that geographies where they are much attracted. International capital is jealous.
Right.
They're looking for where they are welcome. So now, after several years of wasting our time, they finally signed the PIA, Petroleum Industry Act. And even after signing it, they have been cannibalizing the act. So we don't even know where it is. And you're expecting people to invest. So again, so what I said, we don't take the right decisions.
Right.
In the past.
The impact now.
The impacts, Now, that's one. Park that somewhere. The revenues we're earning from oil.
Yes.
What do we used to do? We reverse and use it to import PMS.
Right.
That's gasoline and petrol. Now, because also the price of gasoline, crude oil has gone up high, the price of PMS has gone up so high in the markets. So the dollars we're earning from crude oil, we're dedicating much now to what? In bringing PMS. The PMS petrol we're going to sell in Nigeria at what? 1 to 2 naira per liter. Subsidy is what? Very high.
Yep.
If you read the press, you see that smuggling now is a big business. They had the road, they say housewives, school children, everybody now is involved in smuggling of petrol.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that the price is very high. Again, when we don't take the right decisions, the whole country is suffering from it.
It's a tough situation, Chika. As far as the bank notices on reduction in
the card limits or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about it yesterday. I said normally it's a foreigner. You know, whenever you start seeing that, you know that there are issues with our FX positions. A lot of Nigerian banks are putting out those notices. Now, it could also be that they're trying to push people towards the foreign cards. You know, that could be one reason. But the more reason why is that, again, we have challenges in meeting these positions. And that's why, as I told you, when oil prices are going up very high, I said in 2016, 2017, that was how Nigeria came out of recession. That was how, at the time, the FX rates in the black market, so black market, was even lower than the official market. Because the Central Bank of Nigeria had the power. There's so much accretion to reserve, oil prices rose, our production was very solid, and therefore we were earning a lot of FX from oil. And then reserves were strong. And Central Bank had the confidence, therefore, to manage the exchange rate. Yeah. But now, that's not happening. Well, our Minister for State is asking for prices to
come down. And I remember you said that we shouldn't expect this conflict to
last forever.
End anytime soon. Right, which means the pressures will maintain. Yeah. Well, Chika, we thank you for joining us. There's a whole lot that's just going on right now. Thanks for Asuu. So I guess we're all hopeful now. What's happening? We hope Asuu sorts out the issues. We hope the Gencos sort out their own issues. We hope that the Bread Association and so on and so forth, things calm down.
Aviation about aviation too.
Right, exactly. The aviation industry.
Aviation is also.
Right.
Because the aviation field is also affected. And a lot of them are cancelling flights or deferring flights because they can't get the fuel.
Well, Chika, thank you for analyzing the news, whether it's good or bad. That's why we have you here to go through this. Arise business analyst Chika Mbono. Chika, thanks for joining us. You're watching the Global Business Report here on Arise News.